Hi everyone, this is Stella Bella. Now over the winter, I've really taken a liking to stick makeup. So makeup in the form of a crayon or a stick. If you've seen my previous reviews, you'll know that I'm a big fan of the L'Oreal Infallible range, and they've got some amazing stick ranges there. Since falling in love with the stick makeup ranges, I decided to give some other brands a try, and I actually bought myself the Wet n Wild makeup stick range. Today I'm going to be testing it out. I'm going to do a daily wear makeup, hopefully, a daily wear makeup look using the Wet n Wild stick range. So right now I've got no makeup on, I've just put on my moisturizer. I just want to see how this range actually stays on, how it performs with bare minimum effort, no primer and no prep. So let's see how they work. It's not for everybody. Some of us prefer the liquid foundations, especially if we have drier skin, or if our skin is a little bit more oily, we might prefer a mineral-based makeup. But I found with my skin type, which is more of a normal to combination skin, the stick foundations work perfectly. It provides a creamier and more moisturizing base than the mineral foundations, but it's not overly oily or overly hydrating like some of the liquid foundations. So right now, it is my favorite thing ever. So let's take a look at the Wet n Wild stick makeup range. So I actually got this range from iHerb. iHerb is an online store that sells a lot of vitamins, makeup, grocery products even at a very, very cheap discounted price. And they had a special on recently, and I got all of the Wet n Wild makeup range that I could in the stick format. I didn't, however, see a foundation version. So I don't have the base foundation, if they even do have one. So today I'm going to replace that with another stick foundation, which is from Maybelline Fit Me. And I haven't used this one before. I've been using the Infallible range, which I have tested and loved. But today we're going to try the Maybelline Fit Me foundation to fill in the gaps where the Wet n Wild range doesn't. So let's see how we go. I think first of all, I'm going to start off with the contour. This is actually quite dark, and I don't usually do contouring that much when I do a normal daily makeup look, but we're gonna try this and we're gonna blend it in. So we're gonna go around the edges where we'll need the contouring. And see, like, I love how it glides on so well. I'm gonna stick with what I normally do if I do contouring, which isn't really much at all. So I'm gonna stick with very minimal contouring, because I do want this to be more of a daily wear look. And we're gonna go just on the cheekbone there and follow that shadowing there. Might have gone a little bit too low, but we'll blend it out. All right, and I'm just gonna add a little on the edges of the nose to blend in. Okay, so that is the contouring. Let's go with the concealer. Okay, so the concealer, let's go in under the eyes. Oh, now I do feel that the big fat rounded edge is not super convenient if you want to be a little bit more detailed. It does kind of just slap on a big chunk, so you do have to kind of be careful with it. But so that might be its downfall, but let's see how it all blends through first. So these areas that I've just done here and here, usually you use a highlighter there, but for me, because I want it to be a little bit more natural and I don't want to have sort of like a shimmery face when I'm done, I'm using the concealer instead. So that's that done. See what I mean? Like, it's just so easy. I'm literally just like painting it in very quickly. This is literally like a crayon. Okay, so now the highlight. I'm gonna go in on the bridge of the nose, just very lightly. But like I said, because this is a very fat tip, we don't want to We want to just be gentle. So otherwise I'm going to draw in like a big fat line there and it's going to make my nose look quite flat. The tip here, maybe just a little bit of highlight there and there, nothing too shiny. A little bit of highlight here going up, just so we highlight the cheekbones a little bit, and it also pulls everything up. Oh my gosh. Okay, now for the blush, which right now I've got quite flushed cheeks naturally anyway, so I'm not going to put on too much, but I'll just put on a little bit just to show you how it works. I'm just going to go in on, again, just over the cheekbones, not too low, just so it sort of draws everything up. Okay, now as you can see, those 4 sticks alone have pretty much covered the entire face anyway, so I don't really have to do much with a foundation, but I will go in to cover up the gaps anyway. But I'm pretty sure if I didn't cover the gaps and I just blended this out, it would create quite a natural look that would just blend in with my natural skin tone, which would be great for a daily look. But for those of you who do like to sort of fill in the gaps with foundation, which I totally understand, I'm gonna try the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. Just so you can all see how this sort of all works together with foundation. So I'm gonna fill in the gaps here, where I've sort of missed, where I don't really want it contoured or highlighted, but maybe just a little bit of coverage, yeah? And again, look how fast that is. Like I'm literally just going in and just filling the gaps where I feel necessary, because it's all gonna blend in. Now, obviously, if you are into more of a full face, full coverage makeup look, this might be a bit light for you, but I prefer a more casual daily wear, natural light look. So I'm keeping everything quite minimal, but at the same time you can layer this on. So once you've blended everything in, if you find that there's certain bits that you want more coverage or you want to conceal a little bit better, feel free to go back in with the concealer over the top, or even another layer of foundation, or even if you've got other stronger concealers that you want to use to cover up any blemishes, you can do that as well. I'm just gonna now blend that in. So the contour first, going upwards, and I can see this, the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, that actually, I haven't even blended that in, and already it just kind of sunk into my natural skin tone. Wow, okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna blend. I'll blend in the foundation first. Just because that is the base. All right, now I'm gonna go in, I like to start with the bigger sections first, just so it's not so distracting to the rest of the face. So I'm blending into the hairline there, that contouring, but at the same time blending that into the rest of my face and also the foundation that I put on there. I don't know if you can see. I'm doing all the darker bits first, all the shadows, and trying to go upwards. Okay, and I'm gonna do the jawline. Usually I just use the same sponge for everything, because whatever's left over in the products, it adds as a good sort of color blender for the other areas, so the different tones and shades aren't so obviously segmented. Now I'm going to take more of the tip area and blend the concealer and highlighter and blush areas. So I'm leaving the nose last because it's the pointiest part anyway. And I'll do the blush first. Some people actually like to do under the eyes first because it is the most complicated, it takes the longest, but I like to do everything else first because I find whenever I do the under eyes first, then I do everything else kind of messes with the under eye work that I do, so I like to leave that last. Okay, now I'm gonna blend that down, out and up. Let's see how that works. Oh, it's not too bad. To be honest, the only place I really put concealer on is under the eyes, because I do have bad allergies, and that with a lack of sleep as well, I do get quite dark circles under the eye, and also eye bags whenever my allergies flare up as well. So I do pay extra attention to that area, but today I'm just going to do it very quickly and see how it goes. It's actually not too bad. Like, the concealer actually conceals quite a lot. Now, if you guys can see, and what I love about stick foundation as well, and this one actually does quite well, is that it gives your skin a really natural glow. So it's not just, I find with a lot of liquid foundations, it sits into the creases too much, or seeps in and makes it look a little bit cakey. And then once you put powder over it, then it looks even more dry and crepey. So some liquid foundations just don't work for me. And when it comes to mineral, that's even worse for sort of dry skin. So it doesn't really give that glow. A stick foundation, it does. And you can see it now, like, and it's not an oily glow either. Like, it just makes your skin look, you know, more vibrant and younger. So, and this concealer is not too bad, because right now it's sitting quite flawlessly on top of the eye. Normally when it comes to eye concealers or any sort of concealers that you put on the eye, because the skin there is quite thin, it can look a bit crepey and dry, and it doesn't really cover that much, but this one actually covers a decent amount. But personally, I would still go in and cover it a little bit more with another sort of stick concealer. But if I was in a hurry and I wanted to go out very quickly, this concealer is very good. Like, it's so, oh my gosh, I'm actually really impressed. I wish you guys could see the detail that I can. The fact that it's not showing up as concealer. Those of you who use concealer under your eyes will know what I mean when I say, you know, like when you put it on, it shows. But this blended so well with everything else. It actually doesn't look like there's any difference in the skin texture at all. Well, I am very impressed. Okay, so let's finish off nose. And like I said, if you feel necessary, you can put extra concealer or extra foundation over certain areas, but otherwise it's pretty much ready to go. You can put a light powder over it. I would probably not put too much powder, or be very careful with my powder, because I wouldn't want to lose that glow that the stick makeup gives. But to set it, I would maybe go straight for the spray. Or if you do put the powder on, you can try a setting spray that makes your skin glow rather than the matte ones, which NYX has a really good one, which I've talked about in a previous video, that if you spray, you can do your powder first, you can set the powder with the spray, and it actually brings the glow back to your skin. So that would be what I'd go with. So that is done. And now I will just go in and set. So I'm using the Innisfree No Sebum Mineral Powder, which is my go-to favorite powder, because it's lightweight, translucent, and it doesn't cake up on your skin afterwards. So I'm gonna tap the excess off, going under the eye first, just to set that first. Lightly, gently, but let's set that first. See how powder stays on this one. And brush that off. See, that's why I love this powder. Like, it doesn't dry out your skin, and it doesn't take away too much of your glow, of that natural glow, but it does take away the oiliness, which is amazing. All right, now under the eye. Powder sits on this makeup range so well, like so well. I dare say even better than the L'Oreal Infallible range, which I absolutely love. But when I put powder over the L'Oreal range, sometimes it can clog up a little bit, in certain areas, but this just sits like, I think the creaminess of this makeup along with the powder on top just gives it a blurred effect. Like my skin now looks blurry. It actually looks blurry. Like it doesn't look like there's powder sitting on top of makeup. It just looks like skin. That's a little blurry, but that's amazing. This makeup is actually really, really good. I am definitely impressed with this range for sure. Like I said, you can go over it with a setting spray if you want to, especially the Glow setting spray by NYX Makeup. They do a really good job in bringing back that extra glow that you want, but I am pretty happy with the glow that's remaining now. This is great, this is great, I love it. To finish, I'm gonna just finish off the eyebrows. Done. And then just to finish off the stick range, I've got the Revlon Kiss Balm Stick in Strawberry. So I'm just gonna finish it off with this, because why not? Keep it all stick for today. Very quickly. Oh, this is delicious, by the way. Actually tastes like strawberries. And that is it, done. And I love how it looks. I love how it all just blended in together. This was amazing. All right, that's pretty much it from me for today. Highly recommend the MegaGlo Wet n Wild Stick Makeup range. And if you've got any comments or questions, please pop it down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow us. We're all over social media. We're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Make sure to follow us. And please follow my social media as well. It's stellabella.au and I am on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I would love to hear from you. Bye.